Thank you for joining us. All right, so who thinks they're here to hear about Canva and Amazon? All right.
They're all in the right place.
Who thinks this is the line to get lunch? All right, well, I guess we got the right crowd. You're very serious, but we're going to have a lot of fun. I am excited to welcome Jeff Cohen from Amazon, Ginny Chauhan from Cartograph, and Emily Browning from Podian. Do we have any Cartograph or Podian folks in the crowd? Which one? Cartograph or Podian? Podian, all right, Podian in the house. So,
Work from anywhere.
I don't want to waste a lot of time with too much preamble. What I would love to do is let Jeff take it away and tell us a little bit about really two main things that are exciting today. One of them, and I'll tip you off, is that Canva is now available in the AWS App Store. So as of today, you can buy Canva Enterprise in the AWS App Store. That's a big deal. Makes it easier to find and get. But the thing we're really here to talk about is something that is an app that has recently launched as of, literally right now. It's the Amazon Ad app. And I would love Jeff to tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And we're obviously really excited to be here and to talk about all of this. And I think that, before we show the app and show people what it is, let's talk a little bit about why we created it. And, we really were looking to solve some problems that our creative teams were having in the fact that they were trying to take their creative that sits within the Amazon Ads creative asset library and then make changes in Canva and integrate all of those back and forth with one another. And we know that creatives have a lot of things that are happening in their business, a lot of things that are happening in their day-to-day, and they really struggle sometimes with understanding what our moderation opportunities are or what their ads are going to get stopped for. And we wanted to kind of make that all a lot easier for them. So maybe it's probably best to show.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
So, as a matter of fact, we do have a sneak peek on how this works. So why don't we roll camera and have a look? Hey, that was really cool. So, what a great thing. That was a cool preview of how this works. The interesting thing is it's great for brands, it's great for advertisers, it's great for agencies because they can achieve so much on the Amazon ad platform, but there used to be this back and forth process that as you published an ad, if it didn't meet requirements, you send it back and you had to rework it. So this is really designed to facilitate a much faster flow, throughput onto the ad platform. But I'm sure there's more to it. I'd love for you to share a little bit more. What am I missing?
Yeah, so we know that creatives are constantly challenged with understanding and evolving their brand as their brand needs to evolve both on the Amazon.com shopping site as well as your 360 view of everywhere that you're working. So this app is making that direct connection. It's building that pre-moderation so that you can actually do that in-app and then pushing it directly back to the Amazon store. So you can now come in, you can change the size of your ads within Canva, put them through moderation, and push them through. And while we're really excited about the partnership that we've had with Canva, I want to let Emily and Jenny really talk about how they've been using it as agencies that are working within Amazon Ads.
So, how about this? Emily and Ginny actually working for great agencies doing amazing work. You guys are much closer to the action. Emily, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you've been using it.
Yeah, so it's been really fun to get to just use Canva in general for a lot of our processes and a lot of exactly to what Jeff said. You know, we're trying to streamline a lot of what we're doing, and what that app can really do is it really does just bring everything under one platform and one roof. So, you know, previously we would have a lot of communication, lines of communication, and so by being able to bring, you know, the designers, the media people, the ad folk, the clients, and everyone into that one platform to see what's going on and get it all finished up and then moderated and approved has been so cool, and honestly can be really easy for all of our projects moving forward.
That's awesome. So Padian is a leading full-service agency specializing in marketplace and e-commerce content, very similar to Cartograph. And so, Ginny, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your experience at Cartograph and how you're using it.
Yeah, I think Emily hit it right on the head. The new integration is going to help streamline things for everyone who is using Amazon for advertising. The first round of being able to upload those creatives into the app gives you that instant moderation, and the best part is that it instantly checks for any red flags. It's going to let you know immediately if there's anything wrong with the copy, the size, anything with the resolution. And so it's saving a lot of time going back and forth with our clients, their designers, and Amazon, and helping us get ads live a lot quicker. As far as working with Canva and our clients, the most common use for us is actually testing A/B hero images. So I have a really great example behind me. We were able to quickly drag and drop some Canva elements onto this picture, as you can see here. My favorite piece about Canva is it allows anyone on our team, even if they don't have design experience, to become a designer. And so by adding in these ingredients and features of the product, we actually were able to increase conversion 6% on this listing month over month, and by doing this in less than 5 minutes.
That's awesome. Thank you. You know, Emily, you have a similar breadth of brands. Many of them have a seasonal component. So I have to imagine that like refreshing creative on an ongoing basis and being ready for big seasonal launches is not an easy task. You have a lot of assets moving through the funnel. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you scale creative at Padian.
Absolutely. And with Prime Day right around the corner, it's a really great time to be thinking about it. And I would say right off the bat, you need to start early. Give yourselves enough time to be working on all of those assets so that when all of those holidays come up, you can have fresh and new assets. And using a lot of Canva's tools can actually really empower you to do so. And so one of our favorites, and if you're at the keynote, you would have seen a little bit of a preview there, was the Canva brand kits. And so that right off the bat allows designers to have all of the information that they need before they even begin the designs. So we're again reducing a lot of the time that happens when you are communicating design briefs to designers. They have all of the clients' brands in one spot. So that's huge and centralizes everything so that we can save time. And then additionally, love using the templates in Canva. I think that they can work for both inspiration as well as saving time so that you can create lots of templates and then reuse them for other things. So for example, they have an Amazon ad video template. And I think a really innovative way to use that is you create one video for that particular ad, knowing that it's in spec, and then you can use some of Canva's other tools to then manipulate it so that it works for your PDP, it works for your brand store, and then you're also creating this consistent brand experience. And then one of my other favorite tools, which we're going to show you, is the Magic Resize. And I think what I love about this is that you can create one master design, and then you can just dump in all of the specs and sizes that you need for your other assets, and then it'll populate all of those. And then from there, instead of like recreating every single design, designers are able to, just make minor tweaks. And then out of one design, you have 5 or 6 that can all be approved and then used through the Amazon Ads app to really ensure that it will be corrected. And then if it's rejected, as to what everyone else said, you just make those minor tweaks in Canva and then just streamline everything.
Yeah, and I think what's important about all this is that we're all creators, right? Like in some way, shape, or form. How many people are like managing brands that are selling on Amazon? Hands? All right. So as we're doing that, our brands need a constant refresh of their brand. It was said during the keynote, right? A brand is not the way it was done 20 years ago, where you create one brand image for the year and you run that brand campaign for the year. That 360 is needing to be applied to what we're now defining as micro seasons. And the micro seasons are the ability to make this creative and apply it to these different time periods or these different shopping events that are occurring. And these changes And these tools are now making it so much easier for our creatives to push these forward into Amazon so that we can show better ads or more effective ads to our advertisers based on the time that they're trying to shop and what they're looking for. Because ultimately what we want to do is we want to emotionally connect the shopper with the products and the brands that they're buying from.
I love it. So what you're talking about is staying relevant, and the way you're talking about doing that is staying fresh. Speaking of fresh, dad joke alert. You work with natural products, I know, Ginny. So when you talk about organic and natural products, they have to stay fresh. How do you keep your campaigns fresh? That wasn't a great dad joke. I'm just going to go ahead and admit it, but I'm working hard for the audience.
Dad jokes by their nature are not supposed to be
They're
great.
bad. They're bad. Okay, well, let's reset a little bit. What I really want to know is, it takes a big process to keep refreshing ads, but I'm imagining that that's the way you build your workflows. Like, you're going to keep your team very productive, and you want to put the right work in the right hands. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think Jeff's right. There's always these new micro seasons. Working with brands of all sizes, something I've noticed is that there's always another photo shoot your brand needs. Whether it's there's new products coming out, holidays coming up, there's a new Amazon event coming up, something is going to pop up that you didn't plan for. And I know that organizing these photo shoots takes hours for all the marketing and the branding team. So one way we've worked on solving that issue for them is by using Canva's tool of Magic Expand. This Magic Expand helps eliminate the need for additional photo shoots, where photo shoots often you have these pictures that come through and they're square, and you can't use them on Amazon for sponsored brands. But with this Magic Expand tool that we have a really cool example behind us, we should be able to show you how to take a square image that you may have used on Instagram, TikTok, something that was vertical, and then you can actually take the image into the Canva template and expand the sides using Canva's AI to make sure you have a full image that can easily be uploaded to Amazon. This example.
So we're pausing so you can see the example. It's so magic, we're actually creating it on the fly. So get ready. Okay, well, that actually brings us to other magic. And the other magic that we want to talk about is AI. So embracing this new era is challenging for all of us. We're all trying to figure out, where do you insert AI in a way that seems right, seems graceful, and actually enhances your messaging. I know, Emily, you all have really played into a lot of AI usage. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about where you see AI working effectively in advertising and marketing.
Sure. I think right off the bat, in the ideation stage, I know that we've played around with the Magic Suite that Canva offers, and as much as the designers love when we supply them with stick figure drawings, being able to provide them a bit of a more visual design brief definitely has helped. And then additionally, we're also trying to empower the non-designers at our company. Historically, every single brief would have to go through the designers, right, and then get added to their backlog. And by being able to use some of the tools like the background remover, we can empower our non-creatives to take apart and have a meaningful experience with the creative process. And we also had an example to show you for that, but unfortunately, we're having a technical issue.
It's amazing, trust us. It's really great.
I think my favorite part of the Magic Expand suite on Canva is that when you put a prompt in, it's going to give you 4 different options. So you can take all of those options back to your client and the designers and then work off that. So the AI that Canva's been building in is just continuing to expand, and we're really excited to see all the new tools that they mentioned in the keynote.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that is really important in the way our user experience is built is it's in line. It's not like hopscotching between multiple apps, because that's, I think, one of the challenges that we all face. Whether you're a marketer or a salesperson or a creative director or an ad designer, you don't want to be jumping around between so many tools.
And something I think that came up during the keynote that was really empowering and makes you think about AI in a different way, especially as a creative. I know that it's often a talking point, is this going to take any jobs, or is this going to ruin any of the processes? And the way that we like to look at it is that if we can take away some of those manual processes, it gives them more time to work on the designs that matter and come up with some more complex, projects and initiatives.
Yeah, scaling for all the various ad platforms, not the most stimulating work. Creating the ad from start, that's actually more value added. Feels better.
Yep.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the visuals. We've been talking about the creative process. We've been talking about how ads push through this new ads app. You have been working with it. Maybe you can talk a little bit about where you see time savings, and we'll go, instead of visuals, we'll talk about fact and figures. What can you share with us? Either Ginny or Emily.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some cool graphics.
I think we went backwards.
We'll fast track this.
I think we
Multiple
went-
sizes of the same ad
I
creative.
think we went backwards instead of forwards.
Maybe.
We're,
Did we mention that we're creative and that makes us flexible?
we
You
gotta
want
go
to
the
talk
other-
them?
we
You
gotta
want to
go
talk
the
them as
other
they
way.
flow, or do you want to get right into the data?
If we could skip
Well,
forward
we
2
finished
slides,
That. We still going, yeah.
yeah, then
we
we
can
go
get back
to
to
the.
Ginny's example.
We're,
Are we frozen again?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. That's
We'll go.
okay.
We'll go to our example and just talk through it and not show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to tackle the question was, we're excited to see where Amazon's ad app will move. We're excited to see how Canva can be a part of that workflow. You've already begun playing around with it, and you're already starting to think about where you think you'll find savings in general, people savings or money savings. How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, the way we're saving a lot of time using Canva is whenever we have a hypothesis of maybe adding in some elements to a hero image is going to save us time and money and increase conversion, first thing we think about is, like, is it actually going to work? And so we want to step back and see, okay, if we need to upload the entire catalog with these new updates, we should test it in Canva first. So we'll usually make 2 to 3 hero images in Canva, then run it through Amazon's A/B test, see how the results come through. If it increases conversions and sales, that's when we go back to the design team and actually say, hey, we have proof this is going to work. Let's update the 100 items in our catalog. So Canva's really taking, like, the barriers away and being able to prove things actually convert before asking our team to take on a large project. I think we have my really cool example, but it stopped moving again.
Is it? We need to go forward a couple slides.
Yeah.
Jump here. Which
You're zooming in.
which example do you want to show?
We go back.
Good.
Oh,
Back.
I went too far. I went too far. Don't look. This one?
No, back.
Are you, that one?
Yeah. Okay, so this is one of my favorite examples. This brand that I work with, they always have great seasonal photo shoots, but they're always prioritizing for Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and they're not really thinking about Amazon. But here you can see where we took a square example, typed in a Canva prompt, and just said, expand the picnic, and they automatically generated additional food options and then made it the perfect size to launch an Amazon-sponsored brand.
Yeah, and for somebody who's like not a creative, like this still fascinates me, right? That you can take this picture and it can add to the right and to the left, and that AI can really kind of fill in, that allows you to get to the different sizes of pictures that you need. And then let's just make sure we go back and talk a little bit about how you were using the Magic Expand. Yeah.
Or we've been using the background remover, and
Yes.
it's something that, we can, and we'll be given assets by our clients, and, they might look really great on their D2Cs, as this one does, but it needs to be compliant for Amazon. Amazon requires a white background, and this was, again, one of those tasks that would formerly go to our designers, and it might take days to get because it gets added to the, the bottom of their list. And then by giving it to our content team instead, what they can do is they can go in the same day and fix, any of those images, which was formerly only something that the people who had the software could do. So Canva has really opened those doors to really empower, the non-creatives to do some of the work.
Putting the right work in the right people's hands. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, maybe we've been talking a lot about efficiency. I know this is really important to Amazon, that your advertisers feel like they're able to produce and publish great ads. Maybe you can give us some thoughts on what works, what doesn't work, what makes great creative on the Amazon platform.
Yeah, so, ultimately what makes great creative on the Amazon platform are the ability to connect with your audience and connect in that emotional way that connects your product and your brand to the shopper and the shopper experience. And I always like to say when I'm asked those type of questions that the answer sits within the it depends, But I always like to tell people, like, you need brand consistency. So you want consistency across your brand, both on Amazon and off Amazon. Meet the shoppers where they are, meet the consumer where they are. You also want visual storytelling, and it's really important on a site like Amazon that people understand your brand. I thought it was really cool during your keynote that you guys made it very important. You drove home the point that you guys aren't just a creative tool. You guys are giving back to the community. And if your brand is doing that, you want to bring that into your brand message, whether it be your product detail page, whether it be your brand store, whether it be posts. There's so many different places within Amazon. And again, using the Canva tool, you can now resize that. And then finally, as your brand is starting to grow and you're starting to try to reach more shoppers, you can start to access more things within Amazon, such as streaming television or Prime Video. And Canva gives you the tools to be able to create those videos, to take your asset library that you have and to kind of connect everything together to make stimulating videos that interact and engage with your audience.
Those are great piece of advice. So how about from a creative and brand perspective, Ginny and Emily, would you guys comment on, like, just if you were giving someone advice outside of the agency world and they wanted to advertise on the Amazon platform, like, what are some of the tips and tricks that seem to work well?
Yeah, I think in order to create best-in-class ads on Amazon, you have to be willing to innovate and test. There's nothing worse than building out a campaign and just assuming that because it worked for you last holiday or last Prime Day, that it's going to work again this year. You have to continue to test, A/B test, and you should be reviewing creatives at least once a month.
Yeah, to bounce off of that, you can't just set and forget. You really do need to be refreshing your creative and making sure that everything works, that you have a cohesive brand experience all across Amazon, to Jeff's point. And then, of course, the creative in me will tell you that you need more color. And I think that especially on Amazon, there's a lot of white, and so it really does help build that brand equity and that brand recognition across shoppers.
Thank you. Those are great pieces of advice. Hopefully everybody is appreciating the kind of like inside tips and tricks. Here's what I took away. More time on what matters and less time on the stuff that's like administrative is a massive win. I think the Amazon Ad Checker app is going to help big time with that. I think Canva obviously is a tool that helps with that as well. You put the right work in the right hands. The second thing was speed and fresh creative is really important. Like, we can't be lazy with what we're putting out around our brand. We have to constantly refresh and create new. And if we do that, then our consumer ends up getting a chance to stay really contemporary and relevant with our brand. That was the second thing. I guess the third one, sort of cheesy, but there's like really 3 components to this. Canva and Amazon, obviously, great partners. We're trying to strike a much bigger partnership. But the agency world, that's the third leg of the stool. It's the agencies, Canva, and Amazon make a really great team. And so I would just love to thank you for joining me on stage. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Have an awesome time today. Thank you.